Kennedy, beloved widow of Robert F. Kennedy and devoted champion of human rights, has passed away.
Former President Barack Obama shared this touching tribute on social media today, writing in part, Ethel Kennedy was a dear friend with a passion for justice, an irrepressible spirit, and a great sense of humor. She touched the lives of countless people around the world with her generosity and grace. A decade ago, Obama presented Mrs. Kennedy with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Molly Line takes a look back at the legacy that Ethel Kennedy left.
Married into political royalty, Ethel Kennedy was at the forefront of American politics for most of her life. A woman who suffered the assassination of her husband, Robert, with dignified stoicism, never losing sight of the social issues he championed and becoming an enduring icon in her own right. Born April 11, 1928 in Chicago, she enjoyed a childhood of privilege in Greenwich, Connecticut, where she attended private school before entering Manhattanville College of the Sacred Heart in New York. It was there that she became friends and roommates with Jean Kennedy, which led to an introduction to Jean's brother, Robert. In June 1950, at the age of 22, the two were wed, and she became Mrs. Robert F. Kennedy. Athletic and outgoing, Ethel embraced the Kennedy's zest for life, competing against her brothers-in-law on the ocean and joining in the already legendary hard-hitting touch football games on the lawn of the family's Cape Cod compound. Robert and Ethel Kennedy would settle in Virginia, where in 1956 they bought Hickory Hill, a sprawling suburban Washington home from Bobby's older brother, Jack. Already parents to 5 kids, the 13-bedroom estate suited their lifestyle and had room for their expanding family, which would ultimately grow to 11 children. When her brother-in-law JFK ran for president in 1960, she had a front-row seat to history. But tragedies often overshadowed the triumphs, and with President Kennedy's assassination in 1963, Robert found himself the de facto patriarch of the family. Despite enduring grief at the loss of his brother, in 1964, with Ethel and his children by his side, Robert Kennedy announced he would run for U.S. Senate in New York, a race he ultimately won. His younger brother, Ted, had been elected to JFK's old Senate seat, and with both brothers in Washington, it seemed the promise of a political dynasty lived on. But RFK, increasingly vocal in his opposition to the Vietnam War, wanted more. In 1968, he declared his candidacy for president and immediately began campaigning across the country. He had the name recognition, and with a victory in the California primary, seemed poised to win the Democratic nomination. Moments later, shots rang out at the Ambassador Hotel. Like his brother before him, Robert Kennedy had been assassinated. Ethel Kennedy was just 40 years old. Her 11th child, a daughter she named Rory, was born 6 months later. She would never remarry, carrying on her life with quiet dignity and dedicating herself to her children and her late husband's causes. The matriarch of the Kennedy family, she was a grandmother to more than 20 children and remained involved in politics to the very end, standing behind Barack Obama in his bid for the presidency. In Boston, Molly Line, Fox News.